My name is Kaitlyn Litchfield, and I am the owner of Kaitlyn Litchfield Photography. I live here in Marshfield with my husband and my two little boys, and I've been a photographer for several years now, and this pandemic has obviously been a challenge for all of us, people that are self-employed, and I think especially photographers. So the Next Step project is an inspiration from what everybody now knows as the Front Step project. And as I was out there and taking photos of people on their front steps, I felt like we needed to continue working. And then when the notice from the governor came down that all schools will be closed, and we all expected it, but it was such a shock to everybody because it just was so final. And as I was talking to my mom friends, we were saying how as kindergarten moms, we won't get to experience those fun little things when they wear their blue cap and gown or when they sing their little song. And it's just such a milestone grade that our kids won't get to finish. And as I was doing the Front Steps project, I got talking to a lot of families that it was not only kindergarten, but those transitions from elementary to middle school, the transitions from 8th grade to high school to college. And there's a lot of grades that are missing those major milestones. Those are grades I remember even now as an adult graduating from. So I started to think about how can we commemorate those kids and give them a sense of closure on something that is just so undone and unfinished. And that's when came up with the Next Step project. And everybody has their next step. Everyone has the next thing they're going to do. My little boy's going to first grade. That's his next step. I've taken photos of kids going to UMass Amherst and kids going into second grade and going to the University of Tampa. And some kids, their next step is getting a job. They're graduating college. So it's this whole project of helping everybody kind of have some closure. So when clients book a Next Step project photo shoot, they are benefiting or they are donating towards the Marshfield Food Pantry. And another part of this whole crazy circumstance we're in is the number of children that depend on school for food. I have to say I was a little naive and didn't realize how many kids fully depend on school. So no school, no food. So through the Front Step project, I was able to raise $1,500 for the Marshfield Food Pantry. And I say I was, but it's really this community. They were able to raise $1,500 to help those kids have meals. And the Next Step project will continue that. We'll continue to donate through to the Marshfield Food Pantry. And also you've kept my small business alive. There's so many businesses that have closed. And this is an opportunity to keep us running and keep us going. I've worked really hard for this business, and it's scary to think it could all close in a second. Just like everybody else, I'm hyper about the social distancing. And during these photo shoots, I'm not 6 feet away. I'm not 10 feet away. I'm more like 20 feet away. And that's just the nature of my camera. The lens is huge, and I actually can't be 6 feet. It's too close. So I am very far away. And I always say one of the challenges of doing these is not being able to come up and pose people and move them. So I'm trying to tell people, all right, move your hair. Okay, move your shoulder. Now do this. So it's actually been a challenge to my skills, my communication skills. And I've been doing them at people's homes, so very similar to the Front Step project. I show up, and actually I was able to secure a green and a white cap and gown from students that graduated a few years ago, and they donated them to me so that the kids, because the graduating high school seniors don't have their cap and gown yet, so I was able to get that. And so those will be placed, on a table or whatever, and then I'll walk away and the kid will come up and grab it. So there's no contact. The response has been really overwhelming. I think people didn't realize how they were feeling. I don't think people realized that they were feeling like they were left in a lurch. And this project has helped give kids some purpose, helped give parents some purpose and some excitement. And it's been really helpful for people to say, okay, I'm gonna wear my cap and gown, and I'm going to have my picture taken. And it almost is the period at the end of the sentence, I did graduate, because it doesn't really feel like that. I remember when I graduated, and it was such a it's such a huge point in my life. And I went to private school and we wore white gowns. And I remember putting on that white gown and feeling like, okay, this is it. And it was the putting on like the cap and the gown that was the big point. And we want to give people obviously documentation of this time, but also to celebrate their successes. And people are recognizing that, and the inquiries have flooded in. So people can book a photo shoot with me of Next Step or even a Front Step project photo if they haven't done that yet at my website, which is kaitlitchphoto.com. And there's a tab at the top that says the Next Step project, and they can go in there and inquire, or through social media. You can contact me through my Facebook page or my Instagram, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.